Dear Petra, dear participants, it's a real pleasure to speak at EIOPA's annual conference, which focuses this year on our upcoming European agenda. So, what is this agenda about? It's time for us to act. Europe needs a competitiveness boost, and this is what we need to achieve in this new term. It's even more relevant in the wake of the US elections result. With financing needs up to more than 800 billion euros per year, Europe is now at a pivotal moment. We need to build up Europe's financing capacities and capabilities. Developing the Savings and Investment Union is part of the solution, and this topic has been on the table for many years, but unfortunately without major results. We already have all the ingredients on the table, but we needed this willpower to bring them together, and today we have it. With the current challenges like aging population or ensuring the green transition, comes the realization that they cannot be tackled without a functioning European financial market, and it clearly appears as one of the preconditions to kickstart our continent's competitiveness. This means having a more effective and simple framework while upholding consumer protection and financial stability. The insurance sector will be a key driver in this new agenda, which translates very concretely into the daily lives of European citizens. They will notably have a role to play in addressing the pension gap, ensuring against new risk, and channeling more investments into the EU economy. This competitiveness agenda has been driven by the valuable work of Mr. Letta and Draghi, and this is the red thread for the Futures Commission agenda. Commissioner designates have been quizzed by MEPs the past weeks in our democratic house to ensure that competitiveness, ambition, financial stability, and consumer protection are high on the agenda. We now are lucky to have a future commissioner dedicated to building the Savings and Investment Union, but her task will not be easy. The commissioner designate, Mrs. Albuquerque, showed us she's fit to be in charge of this portfolio. A strong commitment to build a true European capital market for citizens and companies, but also to defend ambitious yet simplified rules is key to ensure the future of our competitiveness. Competitiveness is a big word, but what are the issues we need to tackle and how do we get there? On the issues that we need to tackle, there are many. But let me focus on one, the pension gap. With aging population, pension system in the EU, including my home country, France, are under real tension. With the many issues member states must face, we cannot ring unannounced at their door anymore to get public money. Even more so, now that the new economic and governance framework is being implemented. There is a common realization that to ensure the sustainability of pension systems, and more crucially to ensure a decent pensions for all citizens, we need to move towards a three-pillar pension system. But this brings us back to one of Europe's biggest issues, shifting and savings culture to a savings and investment culture. If financial services might be very abstract for citizens, pensions is not. This touches every one of the 448 million citizens in the European Union, and making a difference here is crucial. A European solution can guarantee each citizen a decent pension. Engaging citizens in finance through pension is also a way to develop their investment culture. We have seen this with our Nordic neighbors. This brings me to my second point. What are the solutions? A lot of little steps will make a difference altogether, and there is not only one path to success. And thanks to the work of Mr. Letta, Noyer, Draghi, we have multiple concrete proposals on the table, and the most notable ones to strengthen companies' role in the EU economy relate to having more converging supervision and also reviewing the securitization framework. On the other hand, to build up investment appetite for consumers, discussions focus on developing simple and attractive European long-term savings products, building on new trends like digitalization and focusing on financial literacy. Let me quickly stop on those last 2 points. First, it would be crucial to draw lessons from the failed implementation of the Pan-European Pension Product, this PEPP, before moving forward with a European long-term savings product. And second, if we want results on the longer term, we urgently need to ramp up financial literacy now. This education needs to be built as an ongoing process throughout all stages of citizens' life. And for this, we need public actors on our side to incorporate this in education system. But we also need private actors like insurers to be trustful and knowledgeable partners to their employees and their clients. To support this agenda, it will be key to build on new trends like digitalization. It's an opportunity to facilitate processes for companies and supervisors, but also to mobilize new generation of investors. In France, for example, 70% of new investors use digital means to invest. But also it may present opportunities we cannot overlook its downside and risk, especially in terms of consumer protection. This new generation of investors is more prone to online mis-selling. In France, the main source of information for new investors, which are between 18 to 24 years old, is social media. This can be very dangerous. Online advice often comes from so-called finfluencers, you know, those financial advisors 2.0 that know little to nothing about the products they are selling. And they end up suggesting investments in crypto or other very risky products that are not at all in the interest of citizens. This is something we tackled in the retail investment strategy, for example. And this brings me to this last point, which is what have we done until now and what are the next steps? The past 5 years, we already started building a competitive and ambitious framework. And I'm thinking of the Solvency II review, which allows capital relief, but better acknowledge sustainability risk. We also finalized the Listing Act, which simplified listing rules for small companies. And finally, we also currently have the retail investment strategy in the pipes for which, you know, I'm a rapporteur at the European Parliament. On this last file, industry has been consumed by value for money and inducement topics. But this text also advances on major other CME new issues like building on digitalization and financial literacy. And our work will continue with trilogues from January on and will carry the current competitiveness agenda. As both EP and Council are on the same tracks but diverge in detail, our main upcoming task will be to assess avenues of simplification. So to conclude, if we achieved a lot during the last mandate, now it's about legislating with impact, with a simpler, more effective and ambitious framework. Building the Savings and Investment Union will be a teamwork, collective. It is only together with legislators, supervisors and private stakeholders like the insurance company that we will build the new chapter of the European Union. Thank you.